I should be live now. And I'm live. Well, at least it's starting. Let's see here. Anyways, guys. Okay, so crap. So anyways, hey guys, Chris here, and well, I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking. A whole lot of talking. So, the General Code of Operating Rules. This is 2010. This is the wrong edition. We use, on the Sacramento Southern Railroad, we use the GCOR 7th edition, which is effective April 1st, 2015. This one's I'm going to be reading you said GCOR. Here we go. A little bit better. This is Fort Worth and Western Railroad. Okay. Quizlet. Ooh. This can actually help me. So, on the Sacramento Southern Railroad, we have the GCOR and all of our rules. I have right here with me a book that is about 3 inches thick, containing our timetable, all the general orders for 2018, train handling and air brake and train handling rules, the GCOR, and all of our circulars. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? Oh, right, and also our own rule book. I forgot to write that on the cover as well. So I need to know all this information for the rules test next Saturday, the 24th. And so, yeah. The GCOR is big. It's the General Code of Operating Rules. It is broken up into 17 chapters. Starting with General Responsibilities, Railroad Radio and Communication Rules. There's a section that's reserved, which is Chapter 3, or Section 3, I think. And there's timetables, signals and their use, movement of trains and engines, switching, switches, block system rules, rules applicable only in centralized traffic control, or CTC, rules applicable in ACS, ATC, and ATS territories, rules applicable only in automatic train stop system territory, which is ATS, Rules applicable only in automatic cab signal system, ACS. Rules applicable only within track warrant control limits. Track bulletin rules. Rules applicable only in direct traffic control limits. And then there's rules applicable only in automatic train control territory, or ATC. Then there's two more chapters that are labeled as section reserved. Then there's glossary, abbreviations, and the index. So, let's see how far I can get tonight of reading this. Section 1, or Chapter 1, General Responsibilities. 1.1 Safety. Safety is the most important element in performing duties. Obeying the rules is essential to job safety and continued employment. Rule 1.1.1 Maintaining a safe course. In case of doubt or uncertainty, take the safe course. Rule 1.1.2 Alert and attentive. Employees must be careful to prevent injuring themselves or others. They must be alert and attentive when performing their duties and plan to work to avoid injury. So let's see, is there anything on safety in here? No, there is not. Okay. So I'm actually going to use this, that Quizlet there. Let's see. Wait a minute. Railtown, 1897. This is interesting. Railtown 1897 has their GCOR, the GCOR posted. Huh. We use the GCOR 7th edition. See if this actually shows it. Okay, nope. I wouldn't trust Wikipedia for any of this. Now there is railroads in the United States, Northeast United States that follow NORAC, whereas there's the GCOR, which is used west of Chicago, most Class 2 railroads and many short lines. Let's see. Belt Railway of Chicago. That's a general order. Anyways, I'm just going to read the GCOR. Just images. The General Code of Operating Rules. In fact, you just put it in there and pull it up full screen. GCOR. And so I'm going to read more. Let's see, that was 1.1.2. 1.1.3 Accidents, Injuries, and Defects. Report by the first means of communication any accidents, personal injuries, defects in tracks, bridges, or signals, or any unusual condition that may affect the safe and efficient operation of the railroad. Where required, furnish a written report promptly after reporting the incident. Okay, so in this book here, this is easily obtainable which is GCOR 7th edition. For those of you who are just joining in or will eventually be joining in later on and watch later on, this is a older GCOR which was effective in 2015. And so this is older. This is the GCOR we use on the Sacramento Southern. And so, anyways, continuing on with reading. 1.1.4 Condition of equipment and tools. Employees must check the condition of equipment and tools they use to perform their duties. Employees must not use defective equipment or tools until they are safe to use. Employees must report any defects to the proper authority. 1.2 Personal injuries and accidents. 1.2.1 Care for the injured. When passengers or employees are injured, do everything reasonable to care for them. Rule 1.2.2 Witnesses. If equipment is involved in personal injury, loss of life, or damage to property, the employee in charge must immediately secure the names, addresses, and occupations of all persons involved, including all persons at the scene when the accident occurred and those that arrived soon after. The employee in charge must secure the names regardless of whether those persons admit knowing anything about the incident, or accident, The employee in charge must also obtain the license numbers of nearby automobiles. When necessary, other employees can assist in obtaining this information, which must be included in reports covering the incident. Where signaling devices are provided for a signalman is on duty, the employee in charge and assisting employees must try to determine who among the witnesses can testify whether the signaling devices were functioning properly or if the flagman was performing his duties properly. When possible, obtain the names of witnesses who can testify about the bell and whistle signals. 1.2.3 Equipment inspection. If an accident results in personal injury or death, all tools, machinery, and other equipment involved, including the accident site, must be inspected promptly by the foreman, another person in charge of the work, or other competent inspectors. The inspector must promptly forward to his manager the report of the inspection. The report must include the condition of the equipment and the names of those making the inspection. The equipment inspected must be marked for identification and placed in custody of the responsible manager or employee until the claims department is contacted and determines disposition. Mechanical inspection. When engines, cars, or other equipment are involved in an accident that results in personal injury or death, the equipment must be inspected before it leaves the accident site. A mechanical department employee must further inspect the equipment at the first terminal. This employee must promptly report inspection results to the proper manager. Rule 1.2.5 Reporting. All cases of personal injury while on duty or on company property must be immediately reported to the proper manager and the prescribed form completed. A personal injury that occurs while off duty that will in any way affect employee performance of duties must be reported to the proper manager as soon as possible. The injured employee must also complete the prescribed written form before returning to service. If an employee receives a medical diagnosis of occupational illness, the employee must report it immediately to the proper manager. Rule 1.2.6 Statements. Except when authorized by the proper manager, information concerning accidents or personal injuries that occur to persons other than employees may be given only to an authorized representative of the railroad or an officer of the law. Information about the facts concerning the injury or death of an employee may be given only to a person in such interest as the injured employee, an immediate relative of the injured or deceased employee, an authorized representative of the railroad, or an officer of the law. Information in these files or in other privileged or confidential reports of the railroad concerning accidents or personal injuries may be given only to an authorized representative of the railroad. So I'm actually just going to leave it here. I don't want to end up boring you guys to death. But yeah, this is a lot. Let me see, the GCOR itself is quite long. I'd say just the GCOR itself is a good inch thick. It is a lot of pages. Now the page numbers are numbered interestingly. It's page, like for instance 1-2. It's chapter 1, page 2. And then it goes on. And then the last page in the book, or GCOR itself, is, let's see, 17-6. Then there's glossary and index, which is just not that long. It's maybe like 10 pages long of glossary and index. Actually, no. 14 for the index and 4 for the glossary. So anyways, this is the stuff I have to do to become rules qualified. However, this is not required for the railroad, for Sacramento Southern. It is required if you become a brakeman, student brakeman. But for a car attendant, you don't have to be rules qualified. You just have to follow be issued the safety rules book, which the safety rules book covers just about everything else that is not covered by the GCOR. Let's see, the Sacramento Southern Railroad rules book is 90 pages long. So, yeah, I have to learn all this to become rules qualified. As I'm working on maintenance of way, it is not required to be rules qualified for maintenance of way, but it also is required, apparently. This has been stuff, well, it's complicated, I'm not going to go through it. But it's required in that if you want to cross the, bring equipment over the UP Diamond from our shops over to Old Sacramento or vice versa, you have to be rules qualified to be able to cross over the Diamond. You also have a conductor on or there as well. The conductor would call the dispatcher in Omaha and ask for permission to cross the Diamond. And to operate the equipment over the Diamond, you have to be rules qualified. And it is highly recommended that you become rules qualified on Sac Southern Maintenance Way. So, I am going to become rules qualified. That way I will be able to operate equipment over the Diamond. So, that's about it that I have to talk about for right now. So, yeah. We have a lot of rules. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this little stream here. Yeah, it's a long process. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys later.